you've put it in the parameters of art. But I look at life as an art form, and that's how I've chosen to live my life. Everything I do enhances the beauty of this world. It's my goal, and I think I'm getting pretty good to it, especially the spaces that I've created. I'm feeling really happy about where I've ended up, even though nothing is ever perfect. But we have to choose which directions we go, or sometimes we're pushed down that stream. Our choices aren't necessarily our own. In terms of art, I think I'm drawn more to nature than the explicit term art. I find art in nature. But having grown up in concrete and tar, I searched out every wildflower that popped up through the cracks. And so I think that I am really responding more to nature. I just want to reproduce what I see for explanation purposes and for learning purposes and for teaching. And that's why I am where I am now, in the middle of our country, looking at the beauty that we've saved and trying to save more of it.
That's a wonderful, wonderful way to go through life. What a just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you just passed off the leadership of the Booth Artists Guild to myself and Mike Strickland. And what are your plans? What are you going to spend your time doing?
I have been restricted in my own abilities to do what my visions are. I've had deadlines external from myself, which I want to change now. And I've really realized where I want to focus my painting. And, it takes a while, but you have to realize how late I came to all of this too. Where, most of the people that I work with have started in elementary school, middle school, high school, college. I have not had any of those experiences. And then I had to work, and work wasn't an art form. It was a business, and that's also a good thing to know.
I was going to say, I'm imagining your business skills have really helped you in your artistic life as well, and given you a good sense of, excuse me, working with people and, how to maneuver through maybe some challenges and some challenging times.
What Business Sense has done was allowed me to get myself in a financial place where I can just relax in the art side. And for me, I realize how bad stress can be on you physically and emotionally. And I'm trying to reduce that within my life. And for me to do that, I have to get rid of deadlines and economic pressures. Those are the things that are not negatives for me. Not everybody works that way. There's some people that just thrive on deadlines. And partly because I don't have total control over my time. For my physical limitations, things pop up, that just cracked my spine in November. So, that sets you back physically. And I'm fortunate it doesn't set me back as much as it does some people. But moving forward, I see lots of evening sunsets, and in a place that everybody considers one of the most beautiful spots in the world. And as with individuals and personalities, the look is always changing. And that's something that I'm after, and I'm focused on just that small section of the art world. And then my other side, my clay side, I've had some really good fun with sculpting my animals, and also using shapes of bison carved out of big sheets of clay as a canvas. And so using glazes to recreate what I want to on a shape of a bison.
That's very interesting. What size are those?
Well, they will eventually be 15 inches.
15
as
inches.
big as I can fit in my kiln.
So that clay's heavy. I'm not a clay
Yes.
artist,
Well,
but
that's what I feel keeps me really in good shape.
that makes sense.
Yes, I know. I mean, that's something that you very rarely work, especially for women, is your upper body.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
legs have always been powerful, and I just saw a study recently on wearing high heel shoes, which I did for my first 25 years on Madison Avenue, does something to strengthen your legs. And so
I had no idea.
I went to a physical therapy session once where the therapist gave me these bands, and I'm like, I can do this all day. You have to think, he said, those are the hardest ones we have. So,
By the way, you live near an airport.
Kennesaw International,
Yeah.
which is something that has
Yeah.
grown since we've been here. But
Yeah.
that's, we moved here for growth. I got a real estate license when I first came.
Oh, okay.
That was part of my business experience, and I knew that there was nothing here, but there would be.
Interesting.
So, and eventually parlayed what I bought to my cabin in Wyoming.
I was going to
And-
say, isn't that the same story kind of
Yes.
with the cabin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
You saw an opportunity and you jumped on it. If I remember the story, maybe you want to share that?
The Wyoming cabin is in the national forest right next to the Tetons and Wyoming and Yellowstone, and as a place to be for a wildlife artist, for a landscape artist, for a biologist, for anybody interested in the beauty of this country, it is the place to be. And I have just the cabin was 850 feet with a loft. And it did have a bathroom and electricity and running water that you would get from the stream up the hill. We've really added on to it the 22 years I've had it, dug a well, and then added on what eventually was 1,200 square foot. It's a 2-level addition.
That's exciting.
Yes, when most people are downsizing, I'm expanding, and it's going to be a wonderful access for people. I see myself doing art groups there because it's such
sign me up.
A visually stimulating place. And now that I have more bathrooms and accommodations, this is a wilderness area. But it's the as much as people can creep in, they're creeping. So we're lucky to have a buffer.
Yeah.
So this is a place to be. So that's where I see my future in
That's
that
so
area.
exciting. That's perfect. So as far as your artwork, you mentioned sunsets. And so you're thinking I'm assuming you're talking about painting. Okay. And do you have a favorite spot there at the cabin or near the cabin where you view the sunset? Can you tell us about that?
Well, I was just looking at, I've posted probably 5-6 different of this one spot, and somebody just posted another artist that I don't know. I love that spot, and I looked up at, he's definitely painted everywhere, and he loves that spot. And then I looked at, I think, Jane Hunt, and she's got a flyer out. It's my spot. She's got the picture of it and the flyer. I'm going to paint at my spot, and
Good.
Jim Wilcox is in my spot. It's a great.
Yours will be spectacular, and it'll be your own.
This is the Buffalo Valley Road, where the artist, like James Reynolds' book, wrote, if I could have grown up and lived there, I would have been a happy man on Buffalo Valley Road. And so this Buffalo Fork River snakes into the Snake River with the Tetons right there, and you get these back and forth reflections, and it's perfect. You don't have to think about composition. All you have to think about is capturing magic.
Palma, this has been great. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and thank you for all you've done. We sure appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hi, Palma.
Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here today and have this chance to interview you. You and I have known each other for quite a while, and I know, that you've been involved in many things in this community in terms of art. And I just want to throw it out there. I just think people just would love to hear your story and however you want to tell it. We have 10 minutes, and why don't you just begin where you want to begin and share what you want to share with us?
That's quite a challenge to condense my life into 10 minutes. But I don't think it's that